In the city of Aurora, Colorado, Angela Craig was admired for her bright smile and unwavering dedication to her family. As a mother of six, she seemed to have a near-perfect life, especially with her husband, Dr. James Craig, by her side. They were the picture of happiness, a loving couple raising their children, deeply embedded in their local community. But beneath this facade of bliss, dark and sinister secrets were festering, waiting to be exposed. It all began with Angela's sudden and mysterious health issues, which spiraled into an investigation so shocking that it unraveled a deadly plan, masterminded by the one person she trusted most, her husband. Born on April 15, 1975, in the small town of Dodge City, Kansas, Angela Craig grew up as one of 10 children in a large and loving family. From an early age, she was known for her sharp wit, intelligence, and captivating conversation skills. She had a way of making everyone around her feel at ease and was often the life of any gathering. Angela also had a passion for animals despite her allergies and spent much of her time with a book in hand, engrossed in reading. She was skilled in interior design, and her creativity shone in the way she arranged and beautified spaces. Yet her greatest pride and joy was her family. She built close bonds with her siblings, and her compassionate nature extended beyond family. Angela was quick to lend a helping hand to friends and strangers alike. Her devotion to genealogy led her to become a family history consultant, assisting others in discovering their ancestral roots. Angela was also an active member of her church, where she served as a choir director, teacher, and youth leader. On December 18, 1999, she married James Craig, who was pursuing his dream of becoming a dentist. By 2006, James had earned his doctorate in dental surgery from the University of Missouri, Kansas City. He became highly respected in the dental field, especially for his role in establishing the International Dental Program, which helped foreign-born dentists obtain their U.S. licenses. That same year, James and Angela settled in Aurora, Colorado, where they started their family, eventually raising 6 children. James's dental practice flourished, and Angela remained deeply involved in her community and church. To everyone on the outside, the Craigs appeared to have it all: a successful career, a happy family, and a loving marriage. But everything was about to change. On March 15, 2023, Angela was rushed to the hospital after suffering from debilitating headaches, dizziness, and nausea. James was at her side, seemingly the concerned husband, as doctors scrambled to figure out the cause of her alarming symptoms. Her condition worsened, and by 2 p.m. that day, Angela suffered a severe seizure. The doctors acted quickly, placing her on life support, but her condition remained critical. This was her 3rd hospital visit in just 10 days, and despite multiple tests, the medical team was unable to pinpoint what was wrong. Angela's symptoms first surfaced on March 5, 2023, shortly after returning from a visit to her sister in Utah. Upon her return, she began feeling unwell and sought medical attention on March 6th. The doctors, unable to find anything concerning, prescribed her basic medications and recommended rest. But Angela's condition only worsened over the next few days, leading to yet another hospital visit on March 9th. The recurrence of her symptoms alarmed her friends and family. Throughout this ordeal, James remained supportive, at least outwardly. But behind the scenes, troubling details were beginning to emerge. Ryan Redfern, a longtime friend of James from their university days, and his wife had been closely following Angela's condition. Ryan, who had previously helped James keep his dental practice afloat during financial troubles, had no reason to suspect that anything sinister was at play. That all changed with a phone call from Ryan's wife. On March 6th, just days after Angela's first visit to the hospital, Caitlin, the office manager at James's dental practice, noticed something odd. James had come to the office that evening, despite not having any patients scheduled. Instead of using his own office, he went to a different exam room, which was unusual. Later that night, James texted Caitlin, asking her to ensure that a personal package he was expecting would be delivered to the office and that no one else should open it. When the package finally arrived on March 13th, Caitlin noticed something strange. It had a hazardous material label on it. The cylindrical container inside was marked potassium cyanide, a deadly poison. Although unsure why a dentist would need such a chemical, Caitlin dismissed her concerns at first, assuming it was related to James's work. But after Angela's sudden decline, Caitlin's unease grew. She searched online and discovered that potassium cyanide poisoning symptoms were eerily similar to what Angela had been experiencing: dizziness, nausea, and low blood pressure. When Ryan learned this, everything started to fall into place. Ryan immediately went to the hospital to visit Angela, who by then was on life support. He discreetly shared his suspicions with a nurse, suggesting that Angela might have been poisoned. The nurse took his concerns seriously and ordered new tests, while also alerting the authorities. James, unaware of the unfolding investigation, stepped out of the hospital to take a phone call. This gave Ryan and his wife a brief moment to gather their thoughts. But as they left the hospital, Ryan received a frantic call from James. "Why did you leave?" James demanded. "The hospital staff thinks I poisoned Angela." Ryan, still reeling from the discovery, confronted James directly about the potassium cyanide. Cornered, James admitted that he had purchased the chemical, but claimed that Angela had asked him to do so for herself, hinting at a potential suicide attempt. After the tense phone call, James texted Ryan, begging him not to share their conversation with anyone, especially not the police. He insisted that if Ryan had come to him directly, man to man, they could have avoided this chaos. James's frustration was palpable, but Ryan couldn't shake the feeling that something much darker was at play. Ryan did the only thing he could. He called the police. The investigation into Angela's sudden illness took a sharp turn. Authorities obtained search warrants for both the Craig residence and James's dental office. What they uncovered was terrifying. James had been conducting online searches for poison just weeks before Angela's symptoms began. He had researched how many grams of pure arsenic or cyanide were needed to kill a human, and whether these poisons could be detected in an autopsy. One particularly damning discovery was an Amazon purchase made by James for a product labeled as 99.999% crystalline metalloid arsenic, with warnings that ingesting it could be fatal. Investigators also found that James had been watching YouTube videos on undetectable poisons. His search history revealed a premeditated plan to poison Angela. As police dug deeper, they learned that James had also been facing personal and financial struggles. His dental practice was on the verge of bankruptcy, and he had been involved in an extramarital affair. Despite the financial troubles and personal stress, James had presented a calm and loving image to his friends and family. But this facade was crumbling fast. The most heartbreaking aspect of the investigation came from the couple's 6 children. When interviewed by police, they described their mother as happy, full of life, and energetic, completely contradicting James's claims that Angela had been depressed and suicidal. It became clear that James had been fabricating a story to cover up his deadly plan. As the evidence mounted, James was arrested and charged with first-degree murder. The community that once admired the Craig family was left in shock. The loving husband and father had been plotting the murder of his wife for weeks, using his knowledge of chemistry and his access to deadly substances to carry out his sinister plan. In the end, the woman who had devoted her life to her family and community was betrayed by the very person who should have been her protector. Angela's tragic death served as a reminder that even the closest relationships can hide the darkest secrets. If you found this story as shocking as we did, make sure to hit that like button. It really helps support the channel. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss out on more gripping true crime stories like this one. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. See you in the next video.